Shri Devendra Fadnavis. Namaskar, welcome, Moshe Moshe, Salamat Datang, to the inaugural session of the 8th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017, a biennial event organized by the Government of Gujarat to provide a unique forum for idea exchange, knowledge sharing, networking, exploring business opportunities, strategic partnerships, investment inflows, and setting the policy agendas to meet the current global challenges. The biggest event of global business opportunities in India, an event which has established a benchmark for corporate and social investments, an example of visionary approach of the Government of Gujarat towards inclusive and sustainable development. We are honored to welcome today the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, who conceptualized and created this event and transformed it into an economic expressway of India to inaugurate this 8th edition of Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. We also welcome President of Kenya, His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President of Rwanda, His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame, Honorable Prime Minister of Portugal, Mr. Antonio Costa, Honorable Prime Minister of Serbia, Mr. Alexander Vučić, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, Mr. Dmitry Rogozin, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister of Poland, Mr. Piotr Gliwiecki. We are indeed honored to welcome Honorable Ministers and delegations from our 12 partner countries. We also welcome Mr. Jin Liquin, President, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and distinguished business icons and industry captains from around the globe. A warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais and in the audience, and we also welcome members of the media. The 8th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit dawns a new get-up with the 270-degree projection mapping, the latest in projection technology. So welcome, and the music conduction is by Sri Pankaj Bhatt.
Vandan, 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 Vandan. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Deepe Aruno Parbha, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Deepe Aruno Parbha, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. Vandan, 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 Gujarat Tane Vandan, 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 Gujarat Tane Vandan. ध्वज प्रकाश से जलन कसुंबी प्रेम शौर्य अंकित, तू भणव भणव निज संतति सौने प्रेम शक्ति नीरी, ऊंची तुझ सुंदर जात, जय जय गर्वी गुजरात, ऊंची तुझ सुंदर जात, जय जय गर्वी गुजरात, जय जय गर्वी पश्चिम के राधे
छे सहाय मां साक्षात जय जय गरवी गुजरात
जय जय गरवी गुजरात जय जय गरवी गुजरात दीपे अरुणो प्रभात जय जय गरवी गुजरात नदी तापी नर्मदा जोई महीने बीजी पण जोई बड़ी जोई सुभटना जुद्ध रमण ने रत्नाकर सागर पर्वत पर थे वीर पूर्वजों ने आशीष जय कर संपे सोए सौजान जय जय गरवी गुजरात संपे सोए सौजान जय जय गरवी गुजरात जय जय गरवी गुजरात जय जय गरवी गुजरात दीपे अरुणो प्रभात जय जय गरवी गुजरात
ते सिद्धराज जय सिंह
शुभ शकुन दिशे मध्यान शोभ से विधि गई चेरा
जन घूमे नर्मदा सार जय जय गरवी गुजरात 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 दीपे अरुणो प्रभात जय जय गरवी गुजरात दीपे अरुणो प्रभात जय जय गरवी
वंदे
दीपे अरुणो प्रभात
मातरम
गरवी गुजरात
वंदे मातरम
गरवी गुजरात वंदे गरवी गुजरात जय जय गरवी गुजरात वंदे गरवी गुजरात जय जय गरवी गुजरात
Thank you, Parthiv, for that very soulful rendition of Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. We now bring to you an audiovisual presentation showcasing the saga of Gujarat's march in the direction of growth, progress, and development.
What does it take for a state to become vibrant? A vision to excel, a determination to empower, and a passion to transform dreams into reality. What does it take for a state to stand tall? An unwavering resolve to follow the footsteps of Mahatma Gandhi, the apostle of peace and non-violence. Sardar Patel, the Iron Man, and Narendra Modi, our visionary Prime Minister. What does it take for a state to emerge from a cataclysmic disaster? The spirit to fight back, the resilience to grow stronger, and flair to convert challenges into opportunities. What does it take for a drought-prone state to bring in a green revolution? An innovative idea to interlink the rivers and dams to lay down the world's largest water network. What does it take for a state to thrive and flourish? An institutionalized arrangement to ensure for one and all wholesome nutrition, sound education, world-class hostel facilities for the underprivileged, affordable shelter, assured livelihood, along with colors of festivals, animated spaces, and an unflinching sense of security and well-being. What does it take for a state to transform cities into smart ones? A holistic system encompassing intelligent transportation, efficient energy solutions, waste management technology, Wi-Fi enabled cities, and a walk-to-work culture. From agriculture to automobiles, from petroleum to power, from trade to tourism. What does it take for a state to surpass milestones in every sector of human pursuit and endeavor? A robust physical and social infrastructure, like developed ports and airports, widespread road and rail connectivity, a statewide gas grid, uninterrupted power supply, and easy availability of skilled labor. It takes the digital empowerment of citizens and of women entrepreneurs and MSMEs, the inimitable hospitality of the people, the economic freedom, political stability, and good governance. A transparent, sensitive, decisive, and progressive government practicing the philosophy of minimum government, maximum governance. Equipped with a will for inclusive growth and sustainable development. A dedication to pursue Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Make in India, Digital India, Clean India, and Stand Up India initiatives in letter and spirit. The zeal to unlock the infinite potential of young India through its startup ventures, and the goal to build a modern India, transforming it from less cash to a cashless, knowledge-based economy. What does it take for a state to transform a small-scale business summit into a global platform? A commitment to the philosophy of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and the valued support of our esteemed partners who helped us create enormous opportunities. Welcome to the land of enterprise. Welcome to India's economic expressway. Welcome to Gujarat, where traditions and modernity exist side by side, offering the best of both the worlds. So, come here, do business, and live life to its fullest in one of the most livable places in the world. The state of Gujarat beckons you to join hands in scripting a saga of success and glory for Gujarat, India, and the world. Let us come under one roof and share amongst ourselves the best that we have to offer to the humankind. Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2070, connecting India to the world.
Welcome to Gujarat. Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Vijay Rupani, known for his hard work, perseverance, and mass connect, is committed and dedicated for all-inclusive growth and development of Gujarat in all sectors. His government, founded on 4 pillars of good governance, of being transparent, sensitive, decisive, and progressive, is all set to take Gujarat to lead from the front in India's growth. We now invite Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Vijay Rupani, for his welcome address.
It is
an honor for me and a proud moment for the people of Gujarat to welcome you all to the 8th Vibrant Global Summit 2017. Your presence here is a sign of India's pride of place on the global stage and special place of Gujarat in the Indian economy. This moment, this pride and this privilege is dedicated to Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, Honorable Prime Minister of India. On behalf of people of Gujarat, I welcome you, Narendra Bhai, to your Gujarat. We commit to stand by your initiatives such as Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, and Swachh Bharat. Friends and dignitaries, warm welcome to His Excellency, the President of Kenya. Gujarat has an old association through the ports of Mombasa and Kutch. We hope to deepen our relationship. I welcome His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, on his first visit to vibrant Gujarat. I am certain that your presence here will lead to closer ties with your nation. I would also like to welcome the Prime Minister of Portugal, often referred to as Gandhi of Lisbon. If I may say, welcome to your second homeland. We have the Prime Minister of Serbia. Serbia's participation in Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit has greatly contributed in building our economic and cultural ties. A warm welcome. We welcome Deputy Prime Minister of Poland, our partner country for this summit, to the land of the good Maharaja. Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, Mr. Rogozin, welcome back to India. This is the largest ever delegation visit from Russia to Gujarat. It is an honor to have you here. I welcome Honorable Minister for Economy, Trade and Industries of Japan, Mr. Seko. You have been the part of all 8 summits since 2003. Your support in mega projects in Gujarat has been highly appreciated. We also welcome Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, Israel. Your water management techniques and agricultural technology have always inspired us in Gujarat. I extend a warm welcome to Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Development, France. Minister for Upper Secondary School and Adult Education, Sweden. Minister for Energy, Utilities and Climate from Denmark, all from our partner countries. I extend my warm welcome to the Cabinet Minister and Ministers of State of the United Arab Emirates, and to the Minister for Trade and Industries from Vietnam. Your presence reflects the growing cooperation in our regions. Canada has been a long-standing partner. Mr. Amarjit Sohi, Minister for Infrastructure and Communities, Canada, Sat Sri Akal, and welcome to Gujarat. I extend a warm welcome to the Marshal of Podkarpatsy and Marshal for Mazovia from Poland. We are certain to build a strong partnership with you on areas of common interest. Respected Sri Narendra Bhai had visited Astrakhan way back in 2006. I welcome the Vice Governor of the delegation from Astrakhan to your sister state. The United States of America is our partner. I welcome Ms. Nisa Desai Biswal Assistant Secretary, Department for State, Mr. Barry O'Farrell, Special Envoy from New South Wales, from our partner Australia, and senior official from our partner the Netherlands. We also welcome Mr. Lubogo Kenneth, Member of Parliament and Chairperson, Committee on Trade, Tourism and Industries, Republic of Uganda. Diplomats and delegates of around 100 countries are here in this room. I thank you, each one of you, for your presence and support to India and Gujarat. I welcome you all. We are also happy to have with us the President of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Mr. Jin Likan. We hope that we can always look forward for your support. We are indeed proud to welcome Honorable Governor of Gujarat, Sri O.P. Kohli ji, and Honorable Finance Minister, Sri Arun Jaitley ji. It is also a matter of pleasure to welcome my colleagues, Sri Devendra Fadnavis, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and Prema Khandu, Chief Minister, Arunachal Pradesh. We believe the development of every state is important for national progress. Friends, Gujarat is often referred as one of the most developed states in India, a state with business-friendly ecosystem, entrepreneur spirit, and vision for development. This has been possible due to the support and investment of global CEOs and leaders of the Indian industries, many of whom are present here. We appreciate your commitment and assure you of all cooperation. I acknowledge the presence of the ministers and government officials from the Government of India and diplomats. Your support has been remarkable. I extend a special and warm welcome to the representatives from the MSME sector. You are the backbone of our economy. You represent the bricks on which economy of Gujarat has been built. I welcome the media persons who have contributed in highlighting this event. You have taken our growth story to the world and brought the world to our doorstep. Distinguished guests, I assure you that 4 days this summit will testify how Gujarat is connecting India to the world. It will showcase how Gujarat is at the forefront of implementing the vision of our respected Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi. Friends, Gujarat is leading the nation in several sectors such as manufacturing, infrastructure, renewable energy, and smart cities. We believe in reforms and are driven by progressive policies. Our state ranks high in ease of doing business, in economic freedom, and in investment potential. Gujaratis move with a positive attitude. I take leave to speak a few words in Gujarati now. મારા વાલા ગુજરાતીઓ, વર્ષ 2003માં આપણા નરેન્દ્રભાઈએ વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત સમિટ શરૂ કર્યું. આજે વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાતની એક બ્રાન્ડ બની ગયું છે. હવે એ માત્ર સમિટ નથી, એ ગુજરાતની ઓળખ છે, જેના થકી ગુજરાતમાં મૂડી રોકાણ કરવા અને ગુજરાતીઓ સાથે બિઝનેસ કરવા દેશભરથી વિદેશમાંથી લોકો ઉમટી આવે છે, જેને કારણે આજે આપણે એક દાયકાથી ડબલ ડિજિટ ગ્રોથ સિદ્ધ કરી શક્યા છીએ. છેલ્લા 15 વર્ષથી દેશભરમાં રોજગારી આપવામાં સૌથી ગુજરાત આગળ રહી શક્યું છે. નિત નવા સાહસિકો ઊભા થયા. ગુજરાતી યુવાનો જોબ સીકરથી જોબ ગીવર બન્યા. ગ્રામ્ય વિસ્તારમાં કૃષિ, ડેરી, એગ્રો પ્રોસેસિંગમાં નવા અવસર ખુલ્યા આદિવાસી વિસ્તારના વિકાસમાં પણ આપણે અગ્રેસર રહ્યા. શહેરોનું નવું પરિવર્તન મળ્યું. બંદરોને અભૂતપૂર્વ વિકાસ થયો. ગુજરાતનો વિકાસ સંતુલિત અને સાર્વત્રિક છે અને રહેશે. જે અવસરો આ સમિટમાં આપને મળનાર છે, મારા યુવા ગુજરાતીઓ આ તકને ઝડપી લઈ અને ગુજરાતના વિકાસની નવી સીમાઓ સુધી પહોંચાડશે તેની મને ખાતરી છે. Friends, Honorable Prime Minister has taken India forward towards a clean and digital economy. With his recent initiatives in Gujarat, we support this initiative strongly. In a short time of 2 months in Gujarat, 1.5 million new bank accounts have been opened. 7.5 million rupee debit card have been issued. Fertilizer dealers, LPG dealers, petrol pump have been made digital. Vegetable vendors and fair price shops are next on our list. Within 1 month, 450 villages have been made 100% enabled for digital payment. Training for digital payment has become a mass movement in Gujarat. We are confident that this vision of Honorable Prime Minister will make Gujarat and India more strong and vibrant. Honorable dignitaries and friends, I would like to say again that Gujarat has succeeded and will continue to grow not only because of our initiatives, but because you all have made Gujarat a part of your growth story. You believe in Gujarat and its fundamentals. We believe in strong relationships. A participation of this scale, the presence of such dignitaries today in Gujarat is a huge boost to our collective efforts to realize the vision that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi has created for Gujarat and now for India. On behalf of the people and government of Gujarat, I again welcome you all to the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister. Some of the captains of industry are keen to express their solidarity with the summit. We are honored to invite Mr. Ratan Tata, Chairman, Tata Group.
Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, Honorable Chief Minister, dignitaries in the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Some years ago, when I attended my first Vibrant Gujarat meeting, I could not help but publicly say that if you were not in Gujarat, you were stupid. And some years later, with great satisfaction, one got to believe that you were indeed stupid if you were not here, because this was one of the fastest growing states. It had the vision and the tremendous execution zeal of Mr. Modi, who built this state into not just a progressive state in India, but a state that when you went abroad, people talked of Gujarat and India almost in the same breath. Subsequently, I had the fortune of, or good luck, of moving our car factory to Gujarat. And soon, again with the leadership of Mr. Modi, Gujarat has become one of the hubs of car manufacturing in India. So I can only say that Mr. Modi's vision, executed and carried out by future prime ministers, future chief ministers, have continued the leadership to make Gujarat one of the leading states in the country. And today, as India approaches the new era that Mr. Modi is leading, Gujarat will be one of the leading states in the country, which ushers in the new India to the world. The digital India, the India for defense and aerospace, of mining, intellectual leadership, and I am extremely proud to be here today. With permission of the Chief Minister, I'd like to say that હું બી ગુજરાતી છું અને આપણે પાછા ગુજરાતમાં આવ્યા છે. Thank you very much and good luck to Gujarat, and thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for your leadership.
Thank you, sir. We now invite Mr. Mukesh Ambani, Chairman, Reliance Industries Limited.
Most respected Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Vijay Rupani ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good afternoon. I am privileged to be here at the 8th Vibrant Gujarat Global Investor Summit. I am fortunate to be present at every single Vibrant Gujarat Summit out of all 8. And what a transformation it has been from Tagore Hall in 2003 to the magnificent Mahatma Mandir. Whatever Narendra Bhai, our Prime Minister, envisages, he executes, and we have seen it over the last 10 years in Gujarat. Most respected Pradhan Mantri ji, history will record you as a great transformative leader. You first transformed Gujarat. You are now transforming India with a series of historic and visionary initiatives. No leader in the world has changed the mindset and behavior of so many people in such a short time. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, Startup India are initiatives that have galvanized all Indians. These initiatives have won the respect for India in the world. And no wonder this has resulted in India receiving its highest ever foreign direct investment in its history in recent times. Digital India and your other initiatives will make India one of the strongest and the most prosperous nations in the world. On behalf of industry, I take this opportunity to reaffirm our fullest support to realizing your vision and aspiration for India and Indians. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Vijay Rupani for carrying forward the legacy of Vibrant Gujarat, being bigger and better each time. Gujarat has also attracted the highest FDI among all Indian states and is #1 state in India in the ease of doing business in 2015. Let me warmly congratulate entire Team Gujarat. Ladies and gentlemen, as Ratan said, we are proud that Reliance is also a Gujarati company. My father started Reliance's journey in Gujarat. He was born in Saurashtra, and our journey of excellence started from Gujarat. For me, this is a sacred land. Our global scale of investments are an expression of our commitment and faith in the Gujarat story. Our cumulative investment in the state of Gujarat is over 240,000 crores. That is over 45 billion US dollars. It is the biggest investment made by an Indian corporate in a single state. Out of this, in the past 4 years, we have invested more than 125,000 crores in Gujarat, and I am happy to report that we have invested 10,000 crores more than what we had committed or signed as MOUs, and all these investments will be complete by March of 17. These investments provide sustained employment, both direct and indirect, to over 2 lakh people and contribute to Gujarat's export competitiveness. Our partnership with Gujarat's small and medium sector entrepreneurs spans the sectors of textiles, plastic, retail, and now digital services through Jio. We have consistently shown our commitment and faith in Gujarat by developing large businesses here. In return, we have earned the faith and received immense love from the people of Gujarat. In 2014-15, only 35% of Gujarat's population had access to 3G network in Gujarat. But today, more than 90% of the state's population is covered by Jio's 4G LTE network, and by Diwali, 100% of the state will be covered. I'm proud to say that Gujarat is the first state in India to cross the 50 lakh subscriber mark for Jio in less than 90 days. It proves that innovation in India always takes off from this great state of Gujarat. In the coming year, as Jio, we will connect lakhs of merchants and shop to create the commerce and the payment network to support our Prime Minister's cashless digital vision. Jio will connect all colleges and schools in Gujarat so that our future generation students have access to information in the coming year, and Jio will connect all hospitals and medical facilities to create the next generation health and medical infrastructure in our state. Friends, I am grateful to our Prime Minister and the government of Gujarat for giving me an opportunity to lead the Pandit Deen Dayal University. The Reliance Foundation has committed 150 crores to make PDPU one of the top institutes in India. Finally, friends, Reliance's engagement in Gujarat is a partnership to celebrate the spirit of this great state, the spirit to think big, the spirit to act fast, the spirit to lead India to a position of global eminence, the spirit to trigger 1 billion Indian dreams, the spirit to make what others thought impossible, possible. And I salute that spirit. This is the spirit of vibrant Gujarat, of a vibrant India under the leadership of our most respected Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambani. We now invite Mr. Gautam Adani Chairman, Adani Group, India.
Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, dignitaries on the dais, captains of industry, and my dear friends. It is an honor to be speaking to such an esteemed audience in my home state of Gujarat. The Vibrant Gujarat Summit is the manifestations of the unparalleled vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. And today, we see the Vibrant Gujarat Summit having been transformed into a global investor summit, attracting the top business and political leaders from all over the world. The impact it has had, not just on Gujarat, but on the entire nation, has been so significant that several other states have adopted the Vibrant Gujarat model and have already seen investment of several lakhs of crores. This series of summits has strategically positioned India as a key destination for international investment. When coupled with enabling policies put forward by the central government, India is now well positioned for several decades of strong growth. Such has been the immense national impact of the Vibrant Gujarat. This year, we have an unprecedented 12 partner countries. Very few states can claim to have brought together such a set of powerful global executives on one platform. Honorable Chief Minister, the scale of the 8th Vibrant Gujarat Summit you have executed is extraordinary. It is the perfect launching pad for further accelerating the transformation of our home state. Friends, Gujarat is Adani Group's Karma Bhumi. 18 years ago, we laid our first brick to start building a humble salt jetty in a remote fishing village called Mundra. Our rapid growth since then is a testimony of the potential and business friendliness of the state. Not only have we continued to invest in Gujarat since the first day of our inceptions, we have significantly accelerated our investment and in the past 5 years have put in over rupees 48,000 crores in Gujarat. Let me now talk about upcoming investments. Adani Ports is India's largest port and logistic business. In the next 5 years, we will invest rupees 16,700 crores to expand all of our Gujarat port locations at Mundra, Dahej, Ajira and Tuna. The key investments will span 2 new container terminals to take our capacity in Gujarat to a massive 10 million TEUs, a 3.2 million ton LPG terminal, and a rail network from Ajira to connect to the upcoming Delhi-Mumbai freight corridor. Next in line with our Honorable Prime Minister's vision to make India the global leader in renewable energy, we recently commissioned the world's largest solar farm of 648 megawatt in a record period of 8 months. We followed this up by commissioning the world's largest greenfield solar cell and module manufacturing plant of 1.2 gigawatt capacity at Mundra. We are further accelerating our investment in Gujarat within the renewable space. Therefore, by the year 2021, our new investment in solar as well as wind, development and manufacturing will exceed rupees 23,000 crores. In addition to our infrastructure business, the Adani Group is also making significant investment in expanding its agri footprint. Adani Wilmar is India's largest edible oil business and recognized as the undisputed market leader that sells under the brand name Fortune. As a part of the network of manufacturing units, we currently operate the world's single largest edible oil refinery of 3,400 TPD capacity at Mundra. We are now doubling our manufacturing capacity in Gujarat, and this expansion will us making a combined investment of rupees 1,200 crores across Mundra and Hazira. As part of our integrated infrastructure business model, there are two new businesses that will see investment from the Adani Group. These are water and cement. We'll be investing rupees 2,000 crores in setting up a series of desalination plants across the state and also build a 10 million ton grassroots cement clinker plant at an investment of rupees 5,500 crores. All this will further make Mundra the most integrated infrastructure complex in the world. Honorable Chief Minister, our belief is reflected in our investment made, and our optimism is reflected in the promises we make. As a proud Indian and a proud Gujarati, I would like to assure you the full support of the Adani Group. Let me summarize by saying that over the next 5 years, we'll invest rupees 49,000 crores in the state of Gujarat and will create direct and indirect job opportunities for over 25,000 local people. On behalf of the Adani Group, I commit to do our part to spread the khushbu of Gujarat across India and the world. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Adani. We now invite Mr. David Farr, CEO, Emerson Electric Company, US.
Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister Modi, Chief Minister Rupani, and distinguished guests. It's an honor and privilege to be here today, and I'd like to thank the government of Gujarat for inviting me to participate in this global summit. My company, Emerson, is a global manufacturing company that was founded in 1890 in St. Louis, Missouri, and we've been operating here in India since the early 1980s. Across India today, we employ over 6,000 people and have 10 manufacturing facilities and 5 global engineering centers. We have a very strong base of talented, hardworking, dedicated employees right here in India, and I'm very proud of each and every one of them. Our vision is to position Emerson in India as a manufacturing leader for our customers here in India and for our customers in the Middle East and Africa. Over the past 3 years, we've invested over $400 million in our operations and facilities across India, and there's more to come over the next 3 years, up to $200 million more. So Emerson has a vested interest in the future of India. We want to grow our business here and our presence here and be successful. When I attended this event in 2015, honestly, I did not know what to expect. The Prime Minister and his government has just launched the Make in India campaign. They promised to listen to the business community, both the domestics and multinationals like me, and pledged to look at the issues we raised and try to find solutions to make investing in India easier and more flexible. And they did. I stand here before you today, 2 years later, encouraged by the efforts of India, the national and state governments, to make doing business in India much easier. Progress is being made, And I am hopeful for the future in India and will continue to engage Prime Minister Modi in the critical areas and needs to make India successful for the long term with us. As my company looks around the world for where to invest for growth opportunities, we see 5 mega trends driving economic activity in the emerging markets of Asia Pacific, China, Southeast Asia, and India. First, a growing, stronger middle-class community, consumers with more buying power. Second, continued urbanization and growth of cities. Third, a greater focus on food security and reducing food waste and promoting food quality and food safety. Fourth, the need for more power generation and more reliable delivery of electricity to homes and businesses, and it needs to be cleaner, more environmentally friendly, power generation to protect the health and our planet's future. And fifth, the need to have access to health care. Emerson is working here in India with businesses and the government to tackle these issues. It is my hope the economic development campaigns the Indian government has launched over the past 2 years, Made in India, Digital India, Skills in India, will begin to make real progress and steady progress towards the goals that have been established, so important for the future wealth and prosperity of this great nation. To grow manufacturing from 12% of the country's economy to 25% by 2022, as envisioned by Made in India, will require massive investments from all of us around the world. I applaud the reforms implemented thus far in encouraging foreign direct investment. Changes have all been made to make it easier to incorporate a company in India. The central government is encouraging a healthy competition among states for new investments. Transportation infrastructures are happening, the roads and bridges and the rails. All these are significant progresses that I've seen since I've been doing business in India since 1981. India has been known for its universities and graduates and top-notch engineers for years. India needs to put some commitment to excellence towards the vocational schools and technical training for the larger population. I encourage the government to make sure the Skills in India campaign provides the people access to training necessary to compete in today's skilled manufacturing jobs. As a manufacturing, we need those skills to compete here in India and around the world. The Digital India campaign to improve the country's overall connectivity to the internet is also important to industry like Emerson. We increasingly use digital technologies and the Internet of Things to run power plants, factories, and warehouses. These technologies help lead better and safer operations and more efficient for energy and a safer environment for all of us. Each of these campaigns are tackling real issues for the benefit of India's future, and I wish them well and I wish them success. We live in an interesting and challenging times. Our recent elections in the United States made clear that America wants free trade and manufacturing priorities, just like India. I have the honor to serving as the current National Association of Manufacturing Chairman in the United States for the next 2 years, which will be very interesting under the current President-elect Trump. We'll be working with the new U.S. President and the new Congress on issues like corporate taxation, regulations, and trade to help manufacturers grow and compete. Here in India, your companies also want to manufacture be one of the nation's priorities. Manufacturing in India is strong, and India will be strong as manufacturing is strong. I'm proud of Emerson helping India create a long-term and sustainable economic and social development. I'm proud and excited for the 6,000 Emerson employees in this great country. We look forward to working with the customers and with your national and state governments to continue to advance the economic progress in India. And I continue to look forward working with the Prime Minister. And I thank you very much for listening and inviting me back to Gujarat to be here today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farr. We now invite Mr. Toshihiro Suzuki, CEO, Suzuki Motor Corporation, Japan.
Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I feel much honored to be here at Vibrant Gujarat 2017 and would like to convey my hearty congratulations for this prestigious gathering. On behalf of Suzuki Group, I would like to extend my gratitude and compliment to the Government of India for bold policy action and efficient execution. Supporting from Government of India for the manufacturing sector is very encouraging for us. Our new automobile plant in Gujarat will start production from next month. I visited the site yesterday and found everything is ready. Production capacity of Gujarat plant will be expanded to 750,000 units in future, on top of existing 1.5 million units in Haryana. Our Gujarat plant will play an important role as production hub of passenger cars for worldwide. In the light of further growth of automobile industry in India, we are eager to establish an automobile industry cluster here in Gujarat. In order to realize that, we will tackle with two things. First, try to invite more and more auto component suppliers to Gujarat, including Tier 2 and Tier 3. Second, try to train and create sufficient numbers of superior manufacturing manpower. We highly appreciate the mission of Skill India to support industry growth. In line with this initiative, we decided to set up a Japan-India Institute for Manufacturing to train school pass out in technical and soft skills here in Gujarat. With the future expansion of Suzuki Motor Gujarat, I'm quite confident that you will see competitive automobile industry cluster here in Gujarat soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Suzuki-san. We now invite Mr. Peter Huntsman, CEO, Huntsman Corporation, US.
Honorable Prime Minister, distinguished guests, and dear friends, it is certainly a privilege to be able to be here this day. In a time when there is little certainty in global leadership, we find it here in India. In a time when there is courage that is lacking and many decisions that are made around the world, we find it here in India. And at a time when leadership seems to be at a low, we find it in Prime Minister Modi. Mr. Prime Minister, you visited our country this last June There are many, many, many of us who wish you would have stayed and taken over the leadership of our country. Perhaps this would have been the greatest of India's exports. We add our voice to those others that have been spoken of today in support of the changing conditions that we see and the improving conditions that we see in India. Huntsman employs nearly 3,000 people in India. About half of them are in Gujarat. Every Boeing 787 that is flying today has raw materials that is coming from Gujarat. Every Airbus A350 has component and composite materials coming from Gujarat. The most environmentally friendly textile dyes and chemicals used in the world that are transforming and cleaning an industry come from Gujarat. But perhaps the greatest product at all that comes from Gujarat and comes from India is the talent, the creativity, and the integrity of the people that we have an opportunity to work with. Nearly 30 years ago, my father brought me to this great country, and we met with one of his very dear friends, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. At the time, he had two very handsome young sons. My father had 6 sons, and he told us all, "You follow the Ambani boys wherever they go." So I have an opportunity to sit here with them today. But the greatest legacy of our fathers that they taught us was the legacy of the value of a human soul. And to your Prime Minister and to all of you, I would like to make sure that we stay focused, not just on profits, not just on growing businesses, but the opportunity to make society a better place. Those of us in this room that have been blessed with education and with creativity, we have an obligation to give back. We have an obligation to help lift society. We stand at the crossroads of an era in the history of the world where the policies of this government have the ability to change the lives of hundreds of millions of people. Think about that. This shall be our legacy, and to this end, our company, our colleagues, and our family are greatly indebted and very blessed for the opportunity that we have to do business in Gujarat and to do business in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Huntsman. We now invite Mr. Jeremy Weir, CEO, Trafigura Beheer BV, the Netherlands.
Respected Prime Minister of India, Chief Minister of Gujarat, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. We at Trafigura strongly believe that not only does India benefit from a vibrant Gujarat, but so does the international community. The state, which is known as the jewel of the Western India, represents not only the oldest centres of the Indus civilization, but also the most dynamic state of modern and future India. Trafigura is one of the largest global commodity traders. With a turnover of $100 billion US, the group trades annually in excess of 265 million tonnes of energy, non-ferrous and bulk commodities. Trafigura's first investment in Gujarat was a small warehouse in 2008. From the first year of operations, which saw a total turnover of $2.5 million, Today, one of our single locations in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, has a turnover of over $250 million, being 10% of our overall domestic turnover. It is this growth that has continuously encouraged us to seek further opportunities in India and in particular Gujarat. In 2016, Trafigura, as part of a consortium led by Rosneft, announced the purchase of 98% of SR Oil for an enterprise value of approximately $13 billion. We believe this investment not only represents our deep commitment to India as a future manufacturing and consumption market, but also as a commitment to develop India as a regional trading hub linking the Europe, Middle East and Asia Pacific markets. India today overall represents 9% of the group's turnover and 15% of the group's total employee base. Trafigura strongly believes that not only should India take a leading position in global industry through its Make in India initiative, but also, as importantly, develop technology and products which can be exported to international markets. Trafigura, with its key domestic partner Polycab Wires, has announced a joint venture to set up the largest copper rod manufacturing plant in Halol, Gujarat, to be commissioned in the first quarter of 2018. Riker Base will not only be the state-of-the-art plant, but will also have one of the smallest carbon footprints, driving our initiative for a clean and efficient manufacturing process. In conjunction with its industrial and trading investments, Trafigura has also dedicated significant resources in establishing the first digitised refined metal sales and physical supply platform in India in 2014. Not only is Lycos the first digitised refined metals platform anywhere in the world, but more importantly, it was conceptualised, designed and executed in India. Lycos will not only transform access to market and products for small to medium enterprises, but will also digitalise the supply chain and lower costs for large producers and consumers. At Trafigura, we are excited about India's prospects. With the dynamic change we see under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, with initiatives such as Make in India, Digital India, GST, investment in clean energy, to name only a few, we believe India will be one of the fastest growing markets in the world for energy products and industrial commodities for many years to come. The current path-breaking demonetisation drive, we believe, will pay significant dividends in the long run by driving transparency, accountability and higher capital consumption of commodities. This is why Trafigura is investing significant sums in the oil refining and metals processing businesses in India and building our domestic digital trading platform. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all those involved in executing such an exciting and forward-looking conference and wish you all the success in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Breer. We now invite Mr. Prem Vatsa, CEO, Fairfax, Canada.
Honorable Prime Minister Modi, Honorable Chief Minister Rupani, and ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my great pleasure and honor to be here at the 8th Global Summit of Vibrant Gujarat. Fairfax is excited to be a participant in this conference. We are a property casualty company which began in Canada approximately 31 years ago. We write approximately 10 billion premium worldwide, and our investment portfolios are approximately 30 billion, and our capital is around 10 billion. We invest all over the world, but feel that the best opportunity in the world is right here in India. In May 2014, India's political climate changed dramatically for the better with the election of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with a resounding majority. For the first time in 67 years, India has an unabashedly business-friendly government. Mr. Modi has arisen from a very humble background and has had great success in Gujarat, a state with 65 million people, which he has governed as Chief Minister for 13 years, elected 3 times. Gujarat has real economic growth of over 10% per year during that period, while bringing water and electricity and providing child education to virtually every household in the province. We think Mr. Modi can transform India right in front of our eyes. It is unprecedented. He has a single-minded focus on economic growth and will root out corruption. I've said to Mr. Modi that we expect him to be the Lee Kuan Yew of India. And unlike Singapore, India is a very large country and the largest democracy in the world. This is the opportunity, and it's all across the board. Fairfax Financial has been investing in India for over 20 years. Our investments include ICICI Lombard, India's largest private insurance company, Thomas Cook of India, India's leading integrated travel and travel-related financial services company, Quest, a leading human resources facilities management company, and Sterling Holiday Resorts, a pioneer in India's vacation property ownership. The current value of those investments are approximately $3 billion. After Mr. Modi's election, we created a sister company, Fairfax India, which commenced operations in 2015. We raised $1.1 billion in the public markets, and more recently, we raised another $500 million. We've invested $1.2 billion of that money in 5 major investments and committed to another one. The first one we've invested in is NCML, which is India's largest private agricultural warehousing and collateral management company. IIFL Holdings, a fast-growing pan-India diversified financial services company. Adi Finechem, a Gujarat-based chemicals company. Sanmar Chemicals, one of India's largest PVC company. And Privy Organics, which is another chemical company in Mumbai. We have also committed and expect to be completed soon is the Bangalore International, India's 3rd largest airport. All in all, we have invested $5 billion in India, and we think there's a lot more to come. We employ approximately 250,000 people in India. We will continue to make investments across industries as we have done in the recent past. And as I've said earlier, we invest worldwide. We think the best opportunity for investing is in this country, in India. So thank you very much for inviting us, me and Fairfax, to participate. We look forward to following India's progress with a lot of interest and excitement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vatsa. We now invite Mr. John Chambers, Chairman, Cisco, US.
Good afternoon. Prime Minister Modi, it is an honor to be here, distinguished guests, and many friends. Over the last 25 years, and that's how long I've been involved in leadership at Cisco, and over the last year as chairman of the U.S.-India Business Council, where we have 100 other companies here today, I've watched a country change. Your markets opened up, your life expectancy doubled, and your income went up over 4x. However, what I think most people do not grasp is what has happened in the last 2.5 years. In the last 2.5 years, you as a country, and Gujarat has led the way, have led the foundation for India not being the fastest moving emerging nation, but the one that will be the example for both the emerging and the developing world. I have the honor to look at almost every major country in the world, and my friends today from Portugal and Rwanda and others, and there is no country in the world that has a better plan for the future than India. You have the imagination of catching market transitions. And you have, in Prime Minister Modi, in my opinion, one of the top 3 leaders I've met in my life, and I've met all the leaders in the world. 2 years ago, if somebody would have stood up on this stage and talked to you about a digital India, a Make in India, a Skills India, a Startup India, smart cities, smart states, you would have looked at them and said, "What are you talking about?" And yet today, it almost rolls off the tongue of each of us speakers. That's what leadership is about. It's about having the courage to outline a goal, knowing full well that people will criticize you as bumps occur along the way. It is about the courage of not trying to do this by yourself, but do it in an inclusive fashion, and making each of your partners believe the role they play can really make a difference, because it can. It's about creating a win-win environment in a way that others are not doing around the world. U.S.-India Business Council, I think it is the most important and tight alliance between countries that can be done. And we clearly love the leadership we're seeing. But when I talk about your leader, Prime Minister Modi, I talk about somebody, and as I said before, I've met them all, that is capable of expanding on a vision, prioritizing how that's going to happen, bringing it down to the teams in terms of who's going to be held accountable, putting groups in healthy competition in terms of a direction, the courage to make changes where in Make in India less than a year ago, I said at that time, India will move from a slow follower to an innovation leader around the world, to where people used to say India is not moving fast enough, and at times some of your critics say you're moving too fast, which I completely disagree with. It is the ability to have a leader who cares about 1.3 billion people, that has the vision to make this inclusion, and the personal skills that makes us all proud to partner with this great country. In the last year, you've seen this vision move from one of concept and strategy, which, by the way, is the best in the world. And I know what the digitization plans are for every country in this world. You've seen it move into execution. And sometimes you can be so close, you miss the changes that are occurring. But whether it's here in Gujarat or other cities or other states around the country, you can catch the energy. And you're becoming the envy of the world with the highest GDP growth rate, and one that if really digital India takes off, I think growth rates of 8 to 10% are a given, and doubling the per capita income every 6 to 7 years of all people in this country are very much there. Each of us in the U.S.-India Business Council are making commitments here, $27 billion in total over the next 2 years. Let me just walk through the example of Cisco in terms of our commitment. We have bet on this country big. We love this country. We love the people. It is our second world headquarters. 15,000 people, 22,000 contractors, strategic ecosystem partners. Secondly, when Prime Minister Modi asked to make in India, and we were the company that brought outsourcing and manufacturing to China 20 years ago with Jiang Zemin, we are committed to manufacturing in India and being candid as a partner about what has to change. And we are opening our manufacturing, started in shipping, what I'm excited about, routers and switches, in March of this year. We are involved in 14 of your 20 top cities, 6 of your top states in terms of the digitization efforts. We are involved in startups, because startups and small to medium businesses is where all job creation will occur. 40% of the existing companies will disappear in this next decade in the US, in India, and around the world. And it's the small companies that will become the large companies where all the job growth will occur. In talking to a young president's organization in Gujarat today, I saw, if you listened, exactly what I'd hear in Silicon Valley, some of the best young leadership with the 30 people there. You see each of your leaders throughout your country saying how to make this inclusive for those people who are in the city, but also in the rural environment. You see Cisco making a commitment over $100 million to startups, $40 million on my last visit here. You see us looking at how do you reskill a country, both in primary education and reskill an existing workforce, looking at network academies where you train people for where the jobs of the future will be in technology. With 250,000 people we're committing to train by 2020, double what we said the last time we were here. And working with states about how do you do this across all diverse areas, and in areas such as gender diversity, 10,000 young men and women in one state in terms of ITC skills. You see the Prime Minister's fingerprints when he was Chief Minister here in I Create, and the ability to establish learning centers that bring together business and government and the startups that are the engine of the future for the Internet of Things as we move forward. You see a willingness to have a secure India in terms of partnerships in a way that we, as the backbone of the Internet, have only with 3 or 4 other countries in the world. And you see an ecosystem partner of win-win. So my challenge to the group is the time is now. My challenge to the group is you cannot move too fast. My challenge to the group is whenever you talk about vision and whenever you talk about innovation, there will be disruption, it will make us uncomfortable, and there'll be bumps along the road. And especially to the media, instead of being critical at that time, it's important to remember the goal that we have in mind and how this will be the country that leads the world going forward. And that realize if there aren't bumps and disruption, you're not moving too fast. Mr. Prime Minister, I believe in your country. I believe in your citizens. And as the chairman of USIBC and the chairman of Cisco, we're greatly honored to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, industry captains, for those warm words of praise for the country and its leadership. We now invite Mr. Jin Liquin, President, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, for his address.
Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin by thanking the government of Gujarat for inviting me to participate in the inaugural ceremony of Vibrant Gujarat today. It is a great honor to be here to share my thoughts with you on the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. We in AIIB focus on financing infrastructure projects that promotes broad-based economic and social development in a cost-effective way. We want to facilitate connectivity and promote regional cooperation, supporting projects that are financially sustainable and environmentally friendly, and that meet the needs of the people. This new multilateral development bank was conceptualized based on the development experience of Asia's emerging market economies, including India, and developing countries in other regions. The bank's members come from all the continents across the world. This is an institution with 75% of the shares owned by the Asian regional members. It stands to reason that developing member countries have a big voice in a multilateral development bank, compatible with the ever-increasing shares in the global GDP. For the first time in history, we have a multilateral development bank where developing shareholders are the majority. And for the first time in history, developed countries' major contribution to such a bank has been appreciated in other than financial terms. India is one of the most important shareholders of our bank. Dr. D.J. Pandian, who worked for 14 years here in Gujarat, is one of our 5 vice presidents, and he is the chief investment officer overseeing our lending programs. I enjoy very much in working with him. Developing countries are trying to change the status quo and want to experiment with approaches to development and to poverty reduction. It is important for us to apply our knowledge and our experience to solve problems and meet our needs more the Asian way. AIIB is moving very quickly, working in close collaboration with the World Bank, ADB, EBRD, and many others. In our first year of our operation, our board of directors has approved a lending program worth $1.73 billion for 9 projects. 25% of the lending program has been prepared by our own people. 1 year into operation, the chemistry between the board and the management is being nurtured. The management has followed all the procedures and upheld the principle of transparency and accountability. AIIB will remain a bank being lean, clean, and green. This has all the more heightened the enthusiasm of new applicants countries for joining the bank. In 2017, we could see nearly 30 new members joining our bank. AIIB is well poised to weather any storm in the toughest of global economic and financial environment. Ultimately, our success depends on a clear roadmap, implementation of sound governance and management, and persistence in adherence to best practice and accountability. In my meeting with the Chief Minister this morning, I promised that AIIB will be moving very fast to invest in your infrastructure in Gujarat, invest in your future. Trust me, delivery of promise is a sovereign feature of our bank, indeed, of your bank. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now invite leaders from our partner countries to give their special address. We invite His Excellency Dr. Rashid Ahmad bin Fahad, Cabinet Member and Minister of State, UAE.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. Honorable Prime Minister Modi, Head of State, Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It gives me a great pleasure to be addressing such an immediate gathering today in the vibrant land of Gujarat. Let me begin by thanking the state government for inviting the UAE as the partner country and applaud its effort for organizing a summit of such a global scale. It is our first time as a partner country, and we hope that this will be just the beginning and our association with Gujarat grows stronger with each passing year. As this year we are participating with more than 50 delegates across various sectors. Gujarat, a land synonymous with culture, commerce, it has not only given the world some of the most extraordinary and inspiring leaders of all time, such as the Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, but is also the home state of India's visionary Prime Minister Modi, and many successful Indian entrepreneurs and business families. India is an extremely important partner for us, and the historic ties between the UAE and India are witnessing a rapid and significant growth driven by the shared economic and strategic interests and close people-to-people contact. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, I think it would be fair to say UAE-India ties are stronger and more vibrant than they ever been. The UAE is the largest Arab investor country in India, accounting for more than 85% of total Arab investment in India. UAE is the 10th biggest investor in India. UAE's investment in India amount to more than 10 billion US dollars, including 4 billion in the form of DI. UAE's continued commitment toward investing in India's growth story can be testified by the fact that the UAE investment into India reached a historic jump of 1 billion US dollar only in the last year. Bilateral trade between the UAE has grown significantly from 180 million in the 1970s to more than 50 billion in the 2016. With immense growth potential, the UAE is India's third largest trade partner, while India stands as the UAE's largest trade partner. The visit of the Prime Minister Modi to the UAE in 2015 and the visit of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Abu Dhabi Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE to India last year have given a new impetus and re-energized our partnership that have been growing steadily over the years. On this occasion, I would like to take the moment to thank the Indian government for its kind gesture for inviting His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed as the chief guest for its Republic Day. The forthcoming of His Highness will be the second visit to India in less than a year. And this, I believe, speaks volume about the value that both countries place in our critically important relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the most prominent companies from the UAE have been very active in India and have a long history of association. For instance, global marine terminal operator DP World operates 5 key container terminals in India, including the Mundara port in Gujarat, and have invested heavily to become the largest container terminal operator in the country. I am proud to add to that DP World supports more than 30% of India's container trade. The UAE hosts the largest Indian community overseas, with more than 2.6 million Indians living and working in the UAE. According to the World Bank statistics, their annual remittances are estimated to exceed 13 billion US dollars, a clear evidence of the ever-growing robust bilateral ties and vital mutual interests. Improved air connectivity is yet another important economic growth driver. It facilitates trade and tourism and has multiplier effect. The air connectivity between our two countries has also increased tremendously, with over 1,000 flights weekly between the UAE and India. Ladies and gentlemen, with landmark initiatives such as Make in India, Startup India, coupled with liberalized FDI policy regime and digitization, India is certainly becoming one of the most preferred investment destinations globally. The different states of India present immense investment diversity. And as part of our diversification strategy, we strive to explore newer avenues for investment and trade, and Gujarat is definitely in our radar. We firmly believe that there are synergies for cooperation between us and with the attractive investment climate here. I'm confident that UAE business will be keen to explore new opportunities and cooperation in many areas such as renewable energy, petrochemicals, gems and jewelries, pharmaceutical, financial services will be of particular interest to us. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, greater achievement call for even bigger changes. The changing global economic headwinds have driven countries to embrace innovative systems, better policies, and newer technologies across all sectors to facilitate dynamic growth. As we grow along our shared economic interests, we would be pleased to share our innovation-led growth models with India so that maximum mutual gains can be obtained. I wish this event all the success, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We now invite Mr. Barry O'Farrell, Special Envoy for India to the Premier of New South Wales and former Premier of New South Wales from Australia.
When next you consult Google Maps, or when you get out of here today and use Wi-Fi, remember that both of those devices and inventions came from Australia. That might surprise some of you who simply, when thinking of Australia, think of miners, farmers, or tourism operators. But I'm here to tell you that Australia is a diverse country in every sense. We economically embrace our old economy, mining, agriculture, and the like. But we equally seek to seize the opportunities created by the new sectors. Sectors like skills education, mining technology, and of course fintech and biotech, areas in which Australia and its states are already seeking and undertaking partnerships with countries, citizens and states in India. But Australia is also a diverse nation. 20% of our population were born overseas. 28% of our citizens have at least one parent who was born overseas. I come from Sydney, the best city in Australia. It's the largest city in Australia. 50% of the residents of Sydney have at least one parent who are born overseas. These provide a massive strength to Australia, its economy and its engagement with the world. And of course that strength includes a strong and entrepreneurial Indian diaspora. India indeed is the fastest growing rate of source of migrants into Australia. And Chief Minister Rupani, I say that not every Indian who comes to Australia has come from Gujarat. But every Indian who has come to Australia has come with the energy and the enterprise that could make them a citizen of this great state. So my message today is that Australia is a modern and multicultural nation with an economy that has recorded a steady rate of growth each year for the past 26 years, which is a country which is keen to continue to vigorously engage in trade and investment with the world, because even an island cannot become an island. No country can become complacent. We have been represented here at Vibrant Gujarat as a nation every year since its inauguration, because Australia has continued to be committed to increasing opportunities for trade and investment on both sides of the Indian Ocean. And Australia does so because we share the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that only a strong economy can create the opportunities. Only a strong economy can provide the jobs. Only a strong economy can realise the aspirations of the citizens of India and every other country represented here today. So as many of you fly home later in the week on planes fitted with black boxes, another invention of Australia, I ask you to remember the words of a great Indian: to be the change you want to see in the world. I ask you to remember that only a strong economy can do what a strong economy can do for our greatest resource, to unlock the potential that exists within everyone. That's the change we should want to see across all parts of the world. That's the change that needs to be. Thank you for the continued invitation of Australia to this important summit.
Thank you, sir. It is indeed a pleasure to listen to our esteemed leaders from partner countries, but since there is a restraint of time, we request all our speakers to present their sentiments in about 3 minutes. We now invite His Excellency Mr. Uri Ariel, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Israel.
מכובדי ראש ממשלת הודו מר מודי, השר הראשי של גוג'ראט, נשיאים רואנדה ונשיא קניה, מכובדיי כולם.
Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Honorable Presidents of Rwanda and Kenya, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
אני מתכבד לייצג את ישראל באירוע חשוב זה פה בוועידה הגדולה הזו.
I am honored and privileged to represent the State of Israel, its government and people in the vibrant Gujarat 2017 summit.
תודה מיוחדת לך, ראש ממשלת הודו, על כוונת הפנים החמה לה זכינו פה, על כל שיתוף הפעולה.
A special word of thanks to the organizers of this impressive gathering and to you, Honorable Prime Minister Modi. Immense appreciation for your leadership of India in this historic endeavor.
ישראל רואה חשיבות עצומה בהרחבת שיתופי הפעולה עם הודו ומדינותיה השונות, כפי שמודגש במסגרת ביקורנו. באתי להעביר מסר בשם ממשלת ישראל וראש ממשלת ישראל לממשלת הודו של חברות, מסר של מחויבות להעמקת שיתופי הפעולה בינינו על מנת להיטיב עם העמים של שתי המדינות.
The State of Israel attributes the utmost importance and consideration to the widening cooperation with India and its various states. I am therefore bringing the government and the people of Israel to the government and people of India a message of friendship and partnership, a message of commitment to furthering our continued cooperation for the well-being of both nations.
פעם נוספת אנחנו בהודו על מנת להציג את סיפורי ההצלחה של מערכת היחסים בין שתי המדינות, וזאת לטובת שיפור חייהם של אזרחי שני המדינות. ברצוננו לשלב ידיים בתחומים נוספים מעבר לשיתופי הפעולה הקיימים עד היום, וכל זאת לטובת המחר.
We are here again in India to present the success stories of this special relationship, share and discuss future endeavors for the benefit of our respective people economies, and explore how we can join hands together in a variety of domains of cooperation, even more than we did until today, for a better tomorrow.
אדוני ראש הממשלה, גבירותיי ורבותיי, הודו וישראל שתי דמוקרטיות, שתי אומות עתיקות, גאות בהיסטוריה ובמסורת שלהם ומשתוקקות לנצל את ההזדמנות לעתיד טוב יותר. בואו נעשה זאת ביחד.
Mr. Prime Minister of India, distinguished dignitaries from around the world, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, India and Israel, two democracies, two ancient civilizations, proud of their respective history and tradition, eager to seize the future opportunities. Let us do it together.
תודה רבה.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now invite His Excellency Mr. Lars Christian Lilleholt, Energy, Power and Thermal Minister from Denmark.
Honorable Prime Minister Modi, Honorable Chief Minister Rupani, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here today. Denmark has now been a part of the vibrant Gujarat movement for many years. But 2017 is special, not least because Denmark this year is a partner country. 2017 is special for another reason. Exactly 100 years ago, two Danes, Anne-Marie Petersen and Esther Fering, visit Mahatma Gandhi and his family in his ashram here in Gujarat. When they left his ashram on January 9, 1917, a strong and lifelong friendship had been made. The two decided to support Gandhi in his fight for India's independence and freedom. This came at a great personal cost to them. Denmark wants to continue to be a part of India's impressive development. Let me from this podium pay tribute to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's contributions to Gujarat and India's development. And let me say this, Denmark wants to be part of India's development and rise, not only your green and white revolutions, but also your blue water revolutions and your saffron energy revolution, and all other positive revolutions that will take place in the future, and which will take India to its rightful position as a global power. We have much to offer to India. In my delegation, I have world-leading companies in wind power and water management technology. They represent the best of Danish skills. Also within the maritime sector, in agriculture, and in smart cities. I'm honored to be heading this group of companies. We are here to continue the strong tradition of Indo-Danish cooperation. I thank our gracious host for their wonderful hospitality and wish all you a successful vibrant Gujarat.
Thank you, sir. We next invite Her Excellency Ms. Anna Ekström, Minister for Upper Secondary School and Adult Education and Training, Sweden.
Thank you. Honorable Prime Minister Modi, heads of government, ministers, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Rupani, business representatives, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends. India and the vibrant Gujarat is clearly the place to be if you want energy, entrepreneurship, and prospects for the future. Make in India and Skill in India initiative taken by Prime Minister Modi and the Indian government hold a real promise for transformation. And Sweden is proud to enjoy a growing partnership with India, the world's largest democracy. In the spring of 2015, we had the honor to receive the President of India on a state visit to Sweden. And last year in Mumbai, a joint statement was issued by Prime Minister Modi and my Prime Minister, Stefan Löfven. This statement sets out ambitious directions for our cooperation, issues ranging from energy to environment and health, from digitalization to defense and security. Innovation defines our partnership, ranging from research, first-class ICT solutions, or a state-of-the-art Air Force. We are indeed amazed by modern Indian innovation, not least the use of the number 0, 1/2 of the binary code. And we see that Indian tech companies are investing in Sweden. Sweden has a long tradition of internationally successful companies with innovative solutions focusing on low life cycle costs, quality and sustainability. The India-Sweden Business Leaders Roundtable initiative makes us certain that we can look forward to a future of even deeper and wider cooperation. Now, skills development is, of course, very close to my heart. And to keep being innovative and find new solutions to old challenges and new challenges, we need education. We need high-class education for everyone, and we need equal education if we want to fulfill everyone's potential. Equal education, where both boys and girls, men and women, meet high expectations and are given equal opportunities, leads to fairness and equality, of course, but it also leads to higher quality and better growth. And an easy way to increase, to even double the potential of innovation is to include women in a society where women are not always included. The initiatives taken by Prime Minister Modi to further increase education for women are therefore very important. To continue or to conclude, we need to embrace innovation. And embracing innovation means investing in the skills of our people, old and young, women and men, and in being open to new solutions. In a world where climate change is accelerating, we need equal education, we need innovation, and we need new sustainable solutions to our mutual problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We now invite the Honorable Mr. Amarjeet Sohi, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, Canada.
Namaskar. Kam cho? Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Vijay Rupani ji, honored delegates and friends of Canada. On behalf of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Canadian government, I wish to congratulate the government of Gujarat and Prime Minister Modi on another successful vibrant Gujarat summit. Canada is pleased to be one of the earliest and longest standing partner countries that has produced tangible results for Canadian companies and Indian companies over many years. This year, I'm proud to lead a strong Canadian business delegation, many of whom place special emphasis on infrastructure and developing smart cities. This summit is especially important given the significant transformation of India under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. Canada very much supports the wide-ranging economic reforms implemented by his government, and we are seeing tangible results with much greater Canadian investment in the country over the past 18 months. From 2015 to 2016, two-way trade between our countries grew by nearly 30%, a remarkable achievement in the context of ongoing economic uncertainty around the world. There are now over 1,000 Canadian companies doing business in or with India, and some 690 Canadian companies and educational institutions have a physical presence here in India. Canadian companies like Bombardier, Magna, McCain, and Linamar have been making in India for many years, including here in Gujarat. There remain, however, significant opportunities for greater cooperation with Canadian and Indian companies for growth in sectors such as food and agri-food, energy and clean technology, education and skills development, infrastructure and aerospace, to name a few. Along with business linkages, people-to-people ties play a central and dynamic role in Canada and India relationship. There are more than 1.3 million Canadians of Indian origin, the largest Indian community in the world on a per capita basis outside of India, and it continues to grow. These Canadians make enormous contributions to our communities, our economy, and our country. Both India and Canada need resilient and modern infrastructure to facilitate the movement of people, goods, and services. We need good airports to do business efficiently and for citizens to maintain their ties with family and friends. We need schools and hospitals to ensure that we are able to train and nurture the future generations to carry on our legacy. Back home, Canada has made infrastructure investments a priority for years, and we continue to do so. We have had a long historical experience of connecting vast territory by developing a resilient physical infrastructure and innovative digital infrastructure. We have had the experience of creating smart, livable cities, which have been consistently ranked as the world's best. We are keen to share that experience with India and to collaborate through Canadian companies to contribute to Government of India's Smart Cities initiative, and we hope that you will share your experiences with us. We look forward to more visits in the coming months, continued collaboration in the coming years, and that will continue to grow and strengthen the strong and important links between our two countries. And thank you to each and every one of you. आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने हमें मौका दिया इंडिया में आने का और गुजरात में आने का. Thank you so much.
We now invite His Excellency Mr. Hiroshige Sekko, Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Japan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. As I make my speech in Japanese, please prepare a headset, please. ご紹介ありがとうございます。日本の経済産業大臣の世耕でございます。モディ首相閣下、そしてルパニ州首相閣下、ご列席の皆様、バイブラント・グジャラートの盛大な開催をまず心よりお喜びを申し上げます。私は本日約30社100名を超える日本企業幹部を連れて日本の大臣として初めてこのイベントに参加をいたしました。私は以前モディ首相の最も親しい友人の一人である安倍総理とともにデリーやインドの各都市を訪問し、満ち溢れるエネルギーと活気、著しい発展ぶりに圧倒をされました。日本企業のインド投資の倍増を目指すなど、日印経済関係は大きな発展、進化が見込めます。日本には技術や人材があり、インドは人口や市場の成長ポテンシャルがあります。企業の海外展開を支援するアベノミクスと投資を呼び込むモディノミクスはパーフェクトシナジーであります。日本企業はインドの経済社会のトランスフォーメーションに技術と輸出で貢献をしてまいります。先ほども話をされたスズキは1980年代にメイクインインディアを開始をし、現地の従業員のスキルを磨いてきました。昨年、衝突回避のシステムを搭載するバレーノがインドで作られ、日本に逆上陸したことは、インドの技術力の高まりの象徴であります。日本企業が貢献できる技術には環境技術があります。例えば大気汚染です。私は日本の青い空を友人たるインドの皆様と共有をしたい。かつて東京も大気汚染で年50日近く子どもたちが部屋の中で過ごさなければなりませんでした。しかし、さまざまな先進環境技術によって、今では東京から100キロ離れた富士山をきれいに眺めることができます。具体的には、日本はエコカーの先進国として、ハイブリッド車や電気自動車、燃料電池車、向上した内燃機関の技術を要しています。また、日本の空気清浄機は、有害化学物質やアレルギー物質の除去に定評があります。大気汚染の元凶とされがちな石炭火力発電も日本が誇るクリーンコール技術は違います。約400万人がデリーに匹敵する人口密度で住む日本の横浜市では、 住宅街から2キロの距離に最新鋭の石炭火力発電所があります。この発電所は一切煙を上げることなく、高効率、低コストを実現し、青い空を共存するクリーンテクノロジーの代表なのです。他にも、アーメダバード・ムンバイ間の日本の高速鉄道、新幹線もインドの発展に貢献をしてまいります。特別のグローバルパートナーシップであるインドと日本のシナジーは二国間にとどまりません。ブレグジット、大国間のバランスが変化するアジア、アメリカの新政権と世界が大きく変わろうとする転換期の今こそ、ASEAN、東アジアに強みを持つ日本と、南アジアや中東アフリカに強いネットワークを持つインドが、インド太平洋地域の統合、発展、ひいては国際社会の発展に協力していこうではありませんか。モディ首相は安倍総理に、強いインドは日本のためであり、強い日本はインドのためであると言われました。背景には今申し上げた両国間のシナジーがあります。そして民主主義や法の支配などの共通の価値観を背景とした強い二国間関係は、開かれたインド太平洋地域に繁栄と安定をもたらすと私は信じています。日印経済関係の発展に日本政府と産業界は深くコミットしていくことを改めて保証してスピーチを終わります。Thank you very much. ダンニャバード、ありがとうございました。
Thank you, sir. We now invite His Excellency Mr. Jean-Marc Ayrault, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Development, France.
Prime Minister Modi, Chief Minister Rupani, ministers, elected official business leaders, dear friends. It's a true pleasure for me and the French delegation to be with you here today at vibrant Gujarat. France is a partner country this year to affirm its confidence in India. We share so many values. We share a vision of the world and a strategic partnership in every area. Prime Minister Modi, France stands by your side and supports your programs that are drivers of sustainable growth for India. Make in India, Skill India, Clean India, Digital India, and Smart Cities. Each of these programs meets a major challenge facing your country. And France has experience and technology in these areas, and we want stronger cooperation with India in these sectors and beyond, from agriculture and food to industry and services, from science to culture, from higher education and research to defense. I have come to Ahmedabad with a large delegation of French companies representing all of these sectors. They have confidence in your country's path towards growth and development. Some of these companies are global leaders. They include France's National Electricity Utility Company, EDF, our national railway company, SNCF, and one of our leading consulting corporations, Capgemini. Their CEOs are here with us today. They have chosen to invest in India, to manufacture here, to export from here, to train their workers, technicians and engineers here, and to innovate here. There are more than 400 French companies in India, employing several hundred of thousands of people and investing more than 1 billion euros every year. France is one of the 3 leading foreign direct investors in India. This includes Gujarat. I am thinking of SNF Fleuger, for example, the second biggest chemical company in France, specialized in water treatment or oil recovery. I'm thinking of Laboratoire Gilbert in the pharmaceutical industry. I am also thinking on the CM8CGM group, which has built a container terminal in the port of Mondra. French companies are helping to drive your economy, and we have some wonderful success stories. One of them is Renault, the leading foreign car manufacturer on the Indian market with Quid, developed in India and manufactured in Chennai. Everyone will have the opportunity to discover it here today. I could also mention Decathlon, the French sporting goods retailer, which has opened nearly 50 stores all over India. The French startup BlaBlaCar, with its carpooling application, is growing rapidly on the Indian market. The Indian economy is also full of promise. When it comes to renewable energies, India had a large hand in the success of the Paris Agreement on climate change. I commend your goal to achieve an electricity mix made up of 40% non-fossil fuel by 2030. French technologies developed by EDF or other smaller companies can contribute to this. But India, dear friends, is also a global economic actor, and its industries have ambitions throughout the world. And France is the leading destination in Europe for foreign investment in industry. France will continue to provide sustainable access to the world's largest global market, the European Union. Several Indian companies have already made this choice. I am thinking of the recent example of Mahindra, which has acquired a majority stake in Peugeot scooters. Dear friends, France is open to all Indian investments. On this opening day of the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, allow me to celebrate with you the economic partnership between India and France. And I am sure it will be even stronger by the end of the day in the interest of our two countries. On this question, this story between our countries, this story of partnership is a question of trust. Our trust in India, our trust in the future of India. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir. We will now invite heads of the governments for their addresses. We are honored to invite Honorable Deputy Prime Minister of Poland, Mr. Piotr Gliński, for his address.
Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Government of India, Excellency Shri Vijay Rupani, Chief Minister of Gujarat, distinguished representatives of the governments of countries participating in this event. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to attend the 8th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit together with a delegation of Polish business to such a momentous event, which brings together representatives of governments and business from many countries around the world. Let also for Indian business partners and investors. Ladies and gentlemen, economic prosperity and well-being depends on our activity and creativity. We, people, politicians, citizens, can. We really can. We can change our surroundings, well-beings, living conditions. We can overcome obstacles. Almost everything depends on us. That's why we can break records also in economy. Last year, Indian-Polish economic exchange increased in almost 30% due to our common strong will and our hard work. I'm fully convinced that it can be doubled in coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all living in a dangerous and challenging times. Terror attacks in Istanbul, Paris, Brussels, Berlin, and here in India, in Mumbai, Uri, and Pathankot, have demonstrated that terrorism has no boundaries and that it is a global threat. I'm convinced, however, that the common values of tolerance and democracy that Poland shares with India form a very good basis for cooperation. I also believe that both our countries will soon become the non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council to make further contributions to the maintenance of international peace and security. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Dmitry Rogozin for his address.
Ваше превосходительство, уважаемый господин Моди,
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी,
уважаемые гости, участники форума «Энергичный Гуджарат».
आदरणीय मेहमान, वाइब्रेंट गुजरात के सहभागियों को
Прежде всего, примите слова приветствия от президента России Владимира Путина и правительства России.
सबसे पहले मैं रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन की ओर से और रूसी सरकार की ओर से हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं दिलाना चाहता हूं।
Я хотел бы, чтобы в этом зале была слышна такая речь, именно на хинди, на языке, на котором говорили выдающиеся лидеры, духовные и политические лидеры этой замечательной страны, Индии.
मेरी ये इच्छा थी कि मेरे भाषण हिंदी में चले। ये भाषा जिस पे भारत के बड़े लोग, बड़े नेता, आध्यात्मिक नेता, राजनीतिक नेता, ये उनकी भाषा है।
Сегодня утром мы посетили с нашей делегацией, в нее вошло 60 человек, представляющие ведущие деловые круги России, посетили святое для каждого человека, живущего в Индии, любящего Индию, место. Это дом, где жил, работал Махатма Ганди, где он отправился в свой соляной поход.
आज सुबह सवेरे मुझे एक सौभाग्य मिला। मैं और रूसी प्रतिनिधिमंडल जिसमें 60% की ज़्यादा है, हम महात्मा गांधी के घर पे उधर देखने को गए, जो वहाँ पे वे काम करते थे, जो वहाँ पे वे रहते थे।
Считаю, что когда мы находимся в Гуджарате, обязательно всем иностранцам надо побывать в этом месте, для того, чтобы понять душу, волю и характер индийского народа.
मेरे ख्याल से ये हर इंडिया के लिए एक पवित्र स्थल है और हर एक विदेशी के लिए जो गुजरात में आता है, जो भारत में आता है, वहाँ पे जाना बिल्कुल ज़रूरी है।
И нам очень близки слова премьер-министра Индии господина Моди, который ориентирует всех иностранных инвесторов к тому, чтобы они делали заводы, предприятия, инвестиции, вкладывали непосредственно в Индию. Это тоже новый соляной поход, который сегодня осуществляет руководство Индии, строя новое индустриальное сообщество, новую современную Индию.
और हम श्री प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की बात हम अच्छी तरह मानते हैं जब उन्होंने कहा कि जब वो विदेश कंपनियों को गुजरात में भारत में आमंत्रित करते रहते हैं कि यहाँ पे आइए गुजरात भारत में निवेश कीजिए और ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और हम ये बहुत मानते हैं ये बात.
Для нас штат Гуджарат очень интересный. Многие российские компании уже открыли здесь свои предприятия, строят заводы. Компания «Роснефть» сегодня вложила большие средства в нефтеперерабатывающий завод в Водянаре. Наши компании также создают совместное производство с индийскими компаниями по производству и автомобильных платформ КАМАЗ, и бутил каучука. Это новое производство, которое создает новые рабочие места в Индии.
और गुजरात रूसी कंपनियों के लिए बहुत दिलचस्प है. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे कंपनियाँ रूसी कंपनियाँ मौजूद है. उदाहरण के लिए रूसी कंपनी रोसनेफ्ट यहाँ पे बहुत सारे निवेश कर रहा है और ये कंपनी ने वादीनार में एक रिफाइनरी खरीद लिया, वो वहाँ पे एक रिफाइनरी बना रहा है और आदि इंडियन पार्टनर्स के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर बना रहे हैं रूसी कंपनी, बहुत तरह से कंपनी. उदाहरण के लिए एक रूसी कंपनी कामाज जो एक ट्रक निर्माता है, यहाँ पे उनका एक जॉइंट वेंचर होने वाला है और बुतिल रबर के क्षेत्र में भी एक और प्लांट होने वाला है इधर गुजरात में.
Нас очень заинтересовали предложения премьер-министра Индии господина Моди относительно того, чтобы внимательно посмотреть на огромные перспективы производства молочной продукции в штате Гуджарат, а также на участие в том деле, в котором штат Гуджарат имеет абсолютное первенство в Индии, это обработка алмазов.
और जो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने जो प्रस्ताव रखा, मतलब तो दूध उत्पादन के क्षेत्र में और डायमंड उद्योग के क्षेत्र में, यह हमारे लिए भी दिलचस्पी की बात है.
Я думаю, мы все внимательно отнесемся к этим предложениям и думаю, что скоро мы не узнаем этот штат Гуджарат, он превратится действительно в лидера промышленного производства в рамках той стратегии, которую предложил премьер-министр «Make in India».
और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि हम ये सारे प्रस्ताव ध्यान में ज़रूर रखेंगे और एक निकट भविष्य में हम गुजरात का चेहरा बिल्कुल नया होगा, मुझे ये पूरा विश्वास है.
Уважаемые друзья, хочу пожелать индийскому народу, всей великой Индии безопасности, мира и процветания.
आदरणीय दोस्तों, मैं भारत को और भारतीय जनता को सुरक्षा, शांति और खुशी की शुभकामनाएं दे रहा हूँ.
И подтвердить, что Россия всегда будет рядом с Индией, всегда будет великим другом великого индийского народа. Спасибо, друзья.
और मैं भी कंफर्म करना चाहता हूँ कि रूस भारत के साथ हमेशा के लिए रहेगा और भारत का एक बड़ा दोस्त रहेगा हमेशा के लिए. शुक्रिया.
Spasiba. And we now we are honored to invite Honorable Prime Minister of Serbia, Mr. Aleksandar Vučić, for his address.
Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Vijay Rupani, distinguished representatives of Indian institutions and companies, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I know actually that most of you, or all of you, are waiting for the speech of the Prime Minister of India, not for our speeches, and that's why I'm going to be as brief as it is possible. Coming from the relatively small country in Southeast Europe, and very proud to represent my people, which have always been very friendly to great Indian state, to great Indian country, and have to say that you will always be able to count on Serbia as a loyal, reliable, and a true friend regarding international stuff and different international issues. Also, would like to say that I didn't expect that many CEOs became political actors as we saw it today, and I'm going to say only a few words that we brought at least several companies from Serbia willing to invest into India. We'll do our best to attract as many Indian investors as it is possible to our country, and absolutely certain that we'll provide the best possible terms, the best possible conditions for Indian companies, and I'm sure that Serbian companies will find a very fertile ground, a very fertile soil for their investments here in India and in Gujarat in particular. Wanted to say that I have just come here to boast ourselves of, and Serbia's government with great results, with a very low inflation rate, with a good growth rate. Then I noticed that Prime Minister Modi got the very best results almost in the world, and I'm a bit ashamed I'm not going to mention even our numbers. And congratulations, Prime Minister Modi, to you and to your country on the very great numbers. And I'll do my best to keep on reminding you that you promised me today morning that you're going to visit Serbia, and we are waiting for you in Serbia. We'll be waiting for you, and we'll be hosting you in the best possible way. Wish you all the best, and Serbia will always be a reliable partner to India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to invite Honorable Prime Minister of Portugal, Mr. Antonio Costa, for his address.
Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Excellency Chief Minister of Gujarat Vijay Rupani, distinguished guests, it is a great honor for me as a Prime Minister of Portugal and person of Indian origin to participate in this inauguration ceremony of the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017. And I'm delighted to be present in Gujarat, the state of origin of the majority of the very well integrated and welcome Indian community residing in Portugal. I would like to congratulate the Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a Chief Minister of Gujarat having the inspiration to create this event, and Vijay Rupani for organizing this 8th edition. Ensuring sustainable economic and social development is a major responsibility of all stakeholders, but is for sure a great responsibility for political leaders. It's our job to promote it. Fora such as this one, in which we have policymakers, industry leaders, academics, are a relevant contribution to connect visions and to build a common commitment for addressing this global challenge. It is nowadays clear that to promote sustainable economic and social development, we must consider the major relevance of climate change. It was possible in Paris to reach an agreement on climate change which creates new foundations for tomorrow's world. It is urgent to implement that agreement in terms of its financing, market, reporting and monitoring mechanism. It is with particular satisfaction that I note both Portugal and India have already ratified the Paris Agreement on climate change. It is important to bear in mind that in the short term, Paris also represents an opportunity for the development and transformation of the economy, for the creation of jobs, products, services, and new market opportunities linked to low-carbon technologies. For Portugal, it is a priority, the decarbonization in the transport sector, by promoting the modal shift from individual transport to collective transportation and soft mobility, as well as promoting electric mobility. We have also an ambitious agenda in renewable energy. Our goal is to be in the front line of renewable energy use. We have recently been able to secure 4 days of total renewable consumption in Portugal. Portugal is a country rich in sun, wind and water. And with the implementation of this agenda, we will increase the weight of renewable energy in the mix of energy production. At this moment, we have already achieved more than 87% of the goal set for 2020 by investing in dams, wind farms, and solar plants. 61% of the energy we produce is from renewable sources. We are also developing policies and initiatives in the fields of urban rehabilitation focused on energy efficiency and circular economy to promote the efficient use of resources and reduce emissions from production processes and final wastes. As you can see, these priorities are aligned to those pursued in India in programs such as Smartest Cities India, the Green Urban Transport Scheme, or the Right to Light Scheme, just to refer some. In today's world, cooperation and partnership among countries or regions are fundamental. We may improve our citizens' life by exploring business opportunities that create value and employment. It is well known that Portugal and India have a centuries-old relationship based on historical, cultural, and personal ties. But despite those old ties, the economic relationship between Portugal and India is still quite incipient. The aim of my visit to India is to contribute to change this situation by renewing and adapting our relationship to address both present and future challenges. We want to enhance our ties and to extend them to a strategic partnership with ambitious targets in new areas of cooperation. Sustainable development is a very good opportunity for start up this strategic partnership for the 21st century. The contacts with the government of India or with Indian business during the last few days confirm that opportunities for cooperation in science and technology, renewable energy, infrastructures, startups, agriculture and food processing, water and waste management, tourism, pharmaceuticals, automotive products and defense. India and Portugal have complementary economies and they can take advantage of being part of different regions and markets. There are great opportunities that can be explored both in terms of trade or investment. Some Portuguese companies are coming with me and will for sure take advantage of this event to interact with companies from India. I expect that my visit to India and my participation here in this vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017 will contribute to strengthen the ties between our two countries and to promote the sustainable economic and social development both of India and of Portugal. I'm sure that with Prime Minister Modi, after a vibrant Gujarat, after a vibrant India, we will have vibrant relations between India and Portugal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to invite President of Rwanda, His Excellency Mr. Paul Kagame, for his address.
Honorable Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government and Heads of Delegation, Excellency Vijay Rupani, Chief Minister of Gujarat, distinguished business leaders and guests. It is a pleasure to be back in India and particularly to be here in beautiful Gujarat. I would like to thank Prime Minister Modi and the government of India for your invitation and warm hospitality. Rwanda and India share more than long historic ties. We also have common aspirations for the well-being and prosperity of our people. Indian investors and East Africans of Indian origin continue to make important contributions to our region's dynamism. Trade between India and Rwanda is growing. Indian businesses in the manufacturing and other sectors are playing a role in our economy as long-term investors. But there is much more potential for investment and joint ventures. Like India, Rwanda seeks economic development and long-term transformation by unleashing the potential of our citizens to be more productive and through beneficial partnerships with the private sector and technology investments. This is also the main goal of ongoing work to deepen regional integration in East Africa, particularly through projects that support integration. By widening our markets, easing travel, trade and business, and embarking on major joint infrastructure projects, we want to maximize opportunities for investment and ensure inclusive growth for years to come. In a rapidly changing world, we have the opportunity to further diversify African exports to India beyond oil and minerals, to stronger, profitable partnerships in other areas, including technology, manufacturing, agriculture, tourism, education, and healthcare. The vibrant Gujarat Global Summit is a valuable platform to strengthen mutually beneficial initiatives in all these and other sectors. Attracting investment is a priority for Rwanda. We continue to make it easy to do business and have established a very attractive investment code. We are ready to discuss business and investments right away. The Rwandan private sector delegation that is here in Gujarat is keen to meet counterparts and explore prospects. Following this visit, we look forward to more activities, including the launch of direct flights to India, especially Mumbai. That's where it is going to start from in a few weeks, by our national carrier, Rwandair, in a few months. This will be a significant step in facilitating travel and business between Rwanda and India and better connecting our two regions. We have every reason to succeed in our efforts. India's familiarity with the East African region and your long tradition of successful businesses is a good match for the ambitions and vast opportunities available in our countries. We are here to make it work. I thank you and wish all of us a fruitful summit.
Thank you very much, sir. We are honored to invite President of Kenya, His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, for his address.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency, the Chief Minister of Gujarat State, Vijay Rupani, Captains of Industry, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to join you at this 8th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. And may I take this early opportunity to thank Prime Minister Modi and the Chief Minister of Gujarat for inviting me to this important summit. This is even more significant given the historic relationship between Kenya and India, and also that the largest segment of the Indian diaspora that calls Kenya home comes from this great state of Gujarat. The state of Gujarat is an important economic powerhouse in India with expertise in sectors and industries that Kenya would wish to benchmark. These sectors include manufacturing and textiles, fertilizers, petrochemicals, agriculture and agribusiness, with special focus also on sugarcane and cotton, mining extraction, natural oil and gas, including coal and tourism. It would be mutually beneficial if we forged a partnership between Gujarat investors and Kenyan entrepreneurs with mutual benefit in mind. Without a doubt, Prime Minister Modi has started something of a revolution here, with high economic growth underpinned by infrastructure, power generation and connectivity, and water availability that has made significant impact on the lives of ordinary citizens. These are tenets that we in Kenya wish to emulate and learn from as we partner going forward. India is an important business partner of Kenya, with investments in a wide range of sectors such as banking, automotive, energy, telecommunications, and health, to name but a few. The Indian investors already in Kenya will testify that an open and safe investment destination with a favorable business environment facilitated by our government's efforts to improve business regulation procedures and requirements. We have also undertaken a wide range of business regulatory reforms aimed at significantly reducing the cost of doing business, something that has been recognized by the World Bank in its 2015 publication of Doing Business, which reported a marked improvement for Kenya, moving 28 spots from number 136 to number 108 in 2015. Ease of starting a business, dealing with construction permits, getting electricity, registering property, getting credit and paying taxes has tremendously boosted investor competitiveness and confidence. To enhance the country's investment attractiveness, my administration has also prioritized infrastructure developments and investment to spur growth and job creation in all sectors of our economy. We have invested in projects and opportunities that include expansion of our ports in Mombasa, our airports and transport corridors, rail links and special economic zones to make Kenya an economic as well as a business hub. There are still opportunities within these infrastructure areas for Indian businesses to consider investing in. Kenya's economy is the largest and most integrated in the East African region, with significant utilization of technology and innovation in business, and it also has one of the highest mobile telephony and internet connectivity on the African continent. The country also has a well-educated, sophisticated, creative, and enthusiastic human resource pool and an advanced financial services sector to serve any kind of investment. And Kenya's central geographical position in the East and Central African region is ideal for investors to use as a launch pad to penetrate the enormous market of over 650 million people of the tripartite free trade arrangement area, which brings together 26 countries in northern, eastern, as well as southern Africa. There are already quite a number of multinational companies with their regional offices in Nairobi, a major regional business and media hub, and you are all invited to join them. I believe this demonstrates that you can have confidence in investing in our country, and indeed, Kenya is proving to be an economy that is stable and growing, with the African Development Bank indicating its 2015 outlook that Kenya defied both domestic and global challenges to attract US $1.9 billion in foreign direct investment in 2015. The World Bank has also projected a continued robust growth trajectory at 5% in 2016, much higher than the global average of 1.5%. Indeed, Bloomberg in 2015 reported that Kenya was the third fastest growing economy in a global survey of 57 economies, putting Kenya alongside China, India, Philippines, and Indonesia as the only economies that were expected to attain over 5% growth in 2016. And indeed, we attained that. These indicators show that we are doing the right things to build a conducive business environment and to ensure robust growth. And we invite you to join in these efforts for a win-win, mutually beneficial result. I encourage Gujarat investors to come and explore the wide range of investment opportunities existing in various sectors such as transport, water and energy, mining extractives and exploration, medical facilities, pharmaceutical production, fertilizer production, manufacturing and value addition in agriculture, industry and tourism, as well as emerging sectors in information and communication technology as well. I am optimistic that the outcomes of the dialogue and networking with the Kenyan delegation, that includes also government representatives and the private sector, will be mutually beneficial to the private sector of the two countries. Prime Minister Modi, I do believe that with our deepening partnership, built on shared values of democracy and justice, we can transform our economies and societies for the mutual benefit of our two peoples. Once again, I take this opportunity to invite all of you to visit Kenya and explore the available business opportunities and also experience other beautiful cities as well as the warmth of the Kenyan people. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now time for the release of the policy booklet and a coffee table book. We invite Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to release the policy booklet and coffee table book, specially brought out to mark global summits, which will be presented by Chief Secretary, Government of Gujarat, Additional Chief Secretary, Industry and Mines, and Industries Commissioner, Government of Gujarat. Gujarat has always been a policy-driven state and has taken a leap ahead with developing a compendium of 18 state policies from industrial to agri-food processing to startups. This compendium aims to assist and facilitates investors as part of ease of doing business and further catapult the growth story of vibrant Gujarat. The coffee table book, Summit of Success, is a tale of enterprise, employment and empowerment. This book presents information about recent projects implemented in Gujarat, from the expression of interest at summits to the commissioning of the projects. The success stories in this book encompass all sectors. Thank you, sir. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is a visionary leader working in the mission mode to realize his supreme dream of regenerating and transforming India. His governance model, a development plus model to develop Brand India, is based on bold initiatives such as Make in India, Startup India, Skill India, Clean India, Digital India, and financial inclusion. His vision and proactive governance has transformed this business summit from a small beginning in 2003 to this mega event today in 2017, being held in the serene ambience of Mahatma Mandir. We are indeed honored to invite Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, with a thunderous round of applause for his inaugural address.
His Excellency, the President of Kenya, His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Portugal, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Serbia, His Excellency, the Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, His Excellency, the Deputy Prime Minister of Poland, Governor of Gujarat, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, ministers, excellencies, and distinguished dignitaries from India and abroad, captains of business and industry, ladies and gentlemen, Bale Padaro. I welcome you all to the vibrant Gujarat Summit. I also wish you a very happy, prosperous, and successful New Year. I fondly recall the modest launch of this event in 2003. Since then, it has been a very successful journey. I express my gratitude to the partner countries and organizations, our list, which includes Japan, Canada, USA, UK, Netherlands, Australia, Denmark, France, Poland, Sweden, Singapore, and UAE. I particularly thank the initial partner countries of the vibrant Gujarat event, Japan and Canada. Many other prestigious global organizations and networks are also partners of this event. I thank you all of this partnership. Your presence is a source of motivation for business leaders as well as young entrepreneurs gathered here. Without your support, this event could not have seen 8 biennial chapters, each better and bigger than the earlier one. The last 3 events have been particularly big. The presence of political and business leaders from more than 100 countries and a large number of organizations from around the world make this a truly global event. I would urge the participants to reach out to each other and to derive the greatest benefit from this summit. You should also visit the trade show and the exhibition where hundreds of companies have showcased their products and processes. Gujarat, the land of Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, also represents the business spirit of India. Through the ages, it had led in commerce and enterprise. Centuries ago, its people went across the 7 seas in search of opportunities. Even today, this state boasts of being the origin of the highest number of our people living and working abroad. And wherever they have gone, they have created a mini Gujarat. We proudly say, જ્યાં જ્યાં વસે એક ગુજરાતી ત્યાં ત્યાં સદા કાળ ગુજરાત. In other words, wherever a Gujarati resides, there forever resides Gujarat. Gujarat is currently in the midst of the Kite Festival. May the kites inspire us all to fly high. Friends, as I have often said, India's strength lies in 3 Ds: demography, democracy, and demand. Our biggest strength is the depth of our democracy. Some people say that democracy cannot deliver effective and fast-track governance. But we have seen in the last 2.5 years that it is possible to deliver quick results in a democratic setup as well. Over the last 2.5 years, we have also evolved a culture of healthy competition among states. States are being rated on parameters of good governance. The World Bank is helping us in this process. Coming to demography, ours is a nation of a vibrant youth. The disciplined, dedicated, and talented youth of India offers a globally unmatched workforce. We are the second largest English-speaking country. Our youth are not merely looking for jobs. They have begun taking risks and often prefer to become entrepreneurs. On the demand front, our rising middle class offers a huge domestic market. The seas that surround the Indian peninsula connect us to some of the world's biggest markets, including Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. Nature has been kind to us. Our 3 crop seasons enable us to grow food, vegetables, and fruits in abundance. The diversity in flora and fauna is unparalleled. The richness of our culture and its living symbols is unique. Our institutions and scholars are recognized the world over. India is now an emerging R&D hub. We produce the world's second largest number of scientists and engineers. Our entertainment industry is making waves worldwide. All this helps ensure a good quality of life at relatively low cost. Friends, our government was elected first and foremost on the promise to provide clean governance and end the prevailing regime of corruption and nepotism. It is our vision and mission to bring a paradigm shift in the ways of our polity and economy. We have taken a series of decisions and steps in this direction. To give you some examples, we are bringing a shift from relation-based governance to system-based governance, from discretionary administration to policy-based administration, from random interference to technological intervention, from favoritism to level playing field. from informal economy to formal economy. In doing this, digital technology has played a key role. I often said that e-governance is easy and effective governance. I also emphasized the need for policy-driven governance. Online processes help bring speed and openness in decision-making. Towards this end, we are working to adopt and absorb newer technologies to bring about transparency and the end discretion. Believe me, we are on the threshold of becoming the world's most digitized economy. Most of you wanted this change in India. I'm proud to say that it is happening before you. You can see this. Over the last 2.5 years, we have worked relentlessly to realize India's potential and to set right the economy. The results have been encouraging. There had been substantial improvement in key microeconomic indicators like GDP growth, inflation, fiscal deficit, current account deficit, as well as foreign investments. India has become the fastest growing major economy in the world. Despite the global slowdown, we have registered excellent growth. Today, India is a bright spot in the global economy. We are seen as the engine of global growth. World Bank, IMF, and other institutions have projected even better growth in the coming days. In 2014-15, India contributed 12.5% of global growth. Its contribution to global growth is 68% higher than its share of the world economy. Creating an enabling environment for business and attracting investments is my top priority. We have to do this in order to create opportunities for our youth. With that spirit, we are moving towards implementation of some historic initiatives. This includes the Goods and Service Tax, GST, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, the National Company Law Tribunal, a new arbitration framework, and a new IPR regime are all in place. New commercial courts have also been set up. These are just a few examples of the direction in which we are going. My government is strongly committed to continue the reform of the Indian economy. Friends, we have placed the highest emphasis on ease of doing business. We have taken decisive steps to ease licensing processes and rationalize provisions and procedures relating to clearness, returns, and inspections. We are monitoring implementation of hundreds of action points across various sectors aimed at improving the regulatory framework. This is a part of our promise of good governance. The outcomes of our efforts are visible in India's global ranking on various indicators. A number of global reports and assessments over the last 2 years have shown that India has improved its policies, practices, and enhanced its economic profile. India's rank has improved considerably in the World Bank's Doing Business report. India is ranked third in the list of top prospective host economies for 2016 to 18 in the World Investment Report 2016 released UNCTAD last year. Our rank also improved by 32 points, positions in World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report 2015-16 and 2016-17. We have moved up 16 ranks in the Global Innovation Index 2016 brought out by WIPO and other institutions. We have moved up 19 positions in the World Bank's Logistic Performance Index 2016. You can see that we are moving close to global best practices. Day by day, we are getting more and more integrated with the world. Our confidence has been boosted by the positive impact of our policies and practices. This also gives us the motivation to further simplify our processes to become the easiest place to do business. Every day, we are further rationalizing our policies and procedures to make it simple for businesses to establish and grow. We have liberalized our FDI regime in many sectors and in various ways. India is today among the most open economies. This change in environment has been recognized by both domestic and foreign investors. An encouraging startup ecosystem is now taking shape in our country. This unleashing of the youth power is heartening. The total FDI inflows in the last 2.5 years have touched US $130 billion. The FDI equity inflow in the last 2 financial years was 60% higher as compared to previous 2 financial years. In fact, the total FDI inflows received during the last years have been the highest ever. The numbers of countries from where FDI is coming and the sectors in which they are being rooted have also diversified in the last 2 years. India is now the leading recipient of capital investment in the Asia Pacific. It also continues to be among the top 10 countries globally in terms of FDI inflows. But the story does not end here. India had left every other country behind in terms of providing return on investment. In 2015, India has risen to first position in the baseline profitability index. Friends, Make in India has become the biggest brand that India has ever had. It is directed towards making India a global hub for manufacturing, designing and innovation. मैं साथियों ये अनुभव करता हूं, मैं दुनिया में जहां जहां गया, मैं अगर 5 बार मेक इन इंडिया बोलता था वहां, तो होस्ट कंट्री के लीडर्स 50 बार मेक इन इंडिया बोलते थे। एक प्रकार से मेक इन इंडिया ये दुनिया की नजरों में भारत को एक इन्वेस्टमेंट का डेस्टिनेशन बना चुका है। भारत में राज्यों के इनिशिएटिव, केंद्र सरकार का सहयोग, ये संयुक्त प्रयास मेक इन इंडिया के लिए बहुत सारे द्वार खोल चुका है। इस अपॉर्चुनिटी का लाभ हिंदुस्तान के राज्यों के बीच में कंपटीशन पैदा हो, हेल्दी कंपटीशन हो, और वो भी गुड गवर्नेंस एंड इकोसिस्टम के आधार पर हो। कंपटीशन पहले भी हुआ करती थी। 15 साल पहले एक राज्य दूसरे से ज्यादा चीजें दे देता था, दूसरा तीसरे से ज्यादा देता था, देने की स्पर्धा होती थी, आखिर कोई नहीं आता था। लेकिन जहां जहां गुड गवर्नेंस को बल दिया गया, जहां जहां प्रॉपर इकोसिस्टम पैदा किया गया, जहां जहां रेगुलेशंस को ठीक किया गया, जहां जहां बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट को फ्रेंडली बनाया गया, वहां पर अधिक मात्रा में दुनिया के बाहर के लोग भी आने लगे। और इसलिए मेक इन इंडिया या दुनिया में कहीं पर भी समझाना पड़े ऐसी स्थिति नहीं है। और मैं गुजरात सरकार को अभिनंदन करता हूं, उन्होंने अपनी प्रोग्रेसिव नीतियों के आधार पर गुड गवर्नेंस को बल देते हुए फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट को अट्रैक्ट करने में बहुत ही अग्रिमता सिद्ध की है। गुजरात सरकार की पूरी टीम को इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। मेक इन इंडिया has celebrated its second anniversary recently. I am delighted to share that we have become the 6th largest manufacturing country in the world, up from 9th largest previously. Our gross value added in manufacturing has recorded a growth of 9% in 2015-16. This is much higher than the 5 to 6% growth in the previous 3 years. All this is helping us expand the job market and raise the purchasing power of our people, particularly middle class. But the real potential is even higher. To give you a few examples, India's food processing industry is expected to increase almost 5-fold in the next 10 years. No one can imagine. Similarly, India's low vehicle penetration makes it one of the world's most attractive auto market. At the government level, we have to ensure that our growth process is inclusive and embraces both rural and urban communities. क्योंकि भारत ऐसा देश है, हम गांव और शहर के बीच संतुलित विकास के पक्ष में हैं। हमारी नीतियों का लाभ गांव और शहर दोनों को समान रूप से मिलना चाहिए। और इसलिए हमारी योजना की प्रायोरिटी में भी गांव को भी उतना ही महत्व मिले। हर विकास की यात्रा का अंतिम बेनिफिट गांव गरीब किसान तक पहुंचे, ये हमारा प्रायोरिटी का रहने के कारण सारी नीतियों के केंद्र में उन बातों को हमने बल दिया है। वी आर कमिटेड टू एन इंडिया विद बेटर जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, बेटर इनकम, बेटर परचेजिंग पावर, better quality of life, and better living standards. Friends, our development needs are huge. Our development agenda is ambitious. For instance, we want to provide a roof over every head. हर गरीब को घर होना चाहिए, अपना घर होना चाहिए और 2022 तक होना चाहिए, ये सपना लेकर के हम चल रहे हैं। वी वांट टू प्रोवाइड जॉब्स टू एवरी हैंड। 800 मिलियन 35 से कम एज ग्रुप के इंडियंस, जो एक प्रकार से युवा भारत है। 800 मिलियन यूथ जिनकी उम्र 35 से कम है। इन हाथ में हुनर हो, काम का अवसर हो, तो नया हिंदुस्तान हमारी आंखों के सामने बना करके खड़ा कर देंगे। ये विश्वास हिंदुस्तान के नौजवानों के प्रति मेरा है, हम सबका है और हम सबका जिम्मा भी है कि उस अवसर को हम दें। और हम अवसर दे सकते हैं, संभावनाएं भरपूर पड़ी है। वी वांट टू प्रोड्यूस एनर्जी that is cleaner. We want to build roads and railways faster. We want mineral exploration become greener. We want to build urban amenities that are sturdier. We want to see our quality of life getting better and better. We are taking a leap toward next generation infrastructure in both core and social sectors, in both rural and urban areas. This includes freight corridors, industrial corridors, high-speed and metro rail projects, logistic parks, smart cities, coastal zones, regional airports, water, sanitation, and energy initiatives. Our per capita electricity consumption must rise. Even as we do so, we are committed to promoting renewable energy. We are keen to promote tourism in a big way, and this needs tourism infrastructure. जब मैं रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की बात करता हूं, 175 गीगावाट। एक जमाना था हम मेगावाट की चर्चा करते भी डरते थे। आज देश गीगावाट के सपने देख रहा है। ये बहुत बड़ा बदलाव है। 175 गीगावाट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी मिक्स, जिसमें सोलार हो, विंड हो, न्यूक्लियर हो, और दुनिया जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग से परेशान है, उस विश्व को बचाने का सपना हमने भी देखा है। और हम भी 175 गीगावाट के कंट्रीब्यूशन से विश्व को ग्लोबल वार्मिंग से बचाने के उस संकल्प को पूरा करने में हिंदुस्तान अपनी नंबर 1 की भूमिका अदा करने के लिए कृतसंकल्प होकर के आगे बढ़ रहा है। तब मैं पूरे विश्व को निमंत्रण देता हूं, आइए 175 गीगावाट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के क्षेत्र में इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए स्काई इज द लिमिट। और हमारी पॉलिसीज आर वेरी प्रोग्रेसिव। और मुझे विश्वास है कि मानवता का भी ये काम है, जीवन की तरफ देखने का दृष्टिकोण बदलने का अवसर है। हमने 2 शताब्दी एक्सप्लॉइटेशन ऑफ नेचर के अंदर खपा दी है। अब हमारा दायित्व है कि आने वाली शताब्दियों को एक्सप्लॉइटेशन ऑफ नेचर के हमारे सोच में से बाहर ला करके हमारी नेचर को स्ट्रेंथन करने के बेसिक चीजों को लेकर के चलना, इसका अवसर है। और उस बात को लेकर के हम चलेंगे तो हम अवश्य ही विश्व में एक बड़े परिवर्तन की संभावनाओं में बहुत बड़ी अहम भूमिका अदा कर सकते हैं। द टारगेट फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रोड्स एंड लेइंग ऑफ रेलवेज have been increased manifold. India is going to emerge as one of the world's largest construction markets as it adds millions of homes. All this offers unprecedented opportunities for the investor community. Most of you can work with US in a number of areas, which includes from hardware to software, from soft skills to scientific temper, from defense system to cyber security, from medicine to tourism. I dare say that India alone offers the opportunities that could revival those of an entire continent. It offers today the possibilities of a full century, and we want to do all this in a calendar, greener and sustainable way. We are committed to protect the environment and uphold our responsibility towards nature. Ultimately, this is what India has stood for since ages. Welcome to India, the land of tradition and tranquility, the land of empathy and excitement, the land of experiment and enterprise, the land of openings and opportunities. Once again, I welcome you all and invite you to be part of India of today and India of tomorrow. I assure you that I will be available to hold your hands whenever required. Thank you. Gujaratna bhaiyo, avjo.
जो वादे नहीं इरादे लेकर आए हैं, ऐसे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, for that very inspiring, motivating and guiding address, which this August gathering will remember for many more years to come. With that, we conclude this inaugural session of the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017. We request the wonderful people in the audience to remain sitting till the dignitaries depart from this conventional hall. Gujarat is a state where business is celebrated. Be a part of it. Please do take good care of yourself. We thank all of you for being a part of this inaugural session. All the dignitaries, members of the media, industry captains, people from various sectors. A special word of thanks for Gujarat Police for wonderfully securing this event. This is your compeer Hina Saxena with her namaskars.